So this disconnection, when we don't process our emotions, we create blockages in our body. The human body is all about, in a healthy state, it's all about free-flowing energy. We're pulling in electrons from our food and from the sun, and this light is spiraling into our body and spiraling into our DNA. The more light that is in our DNA, the more healthy we are. When you put DNA in a test tube, and I think it's when you put salt water in a test tube that's going to make the DNA pop. You put that test tube in a dark environment with light sensors, and when the DNA expires, it releases photons of light. DNA stores light. So we want this light coming in, but we also want the light going out. So it's about free-flowing energy. It's about visualizing that torus of energy, of circulating energy with our bodies. When you feel negative emotions and stress, you train the body in very interesting ways to, if you don't let the emotions go, we start to trap energy in our body. So particularly as unvulnerable men, for example, we're feeling guilt or shame and anxiety, and we're not dealing with that and letting it go or communicating about it. Those emotions start to create their own geometries in our body, geometries of light, and they start to become aware and compounding. So the source of all illness essentially is energy blockages. This is why an acupuncturist can find an energy blockage in your body. Like, the best acupuncturists are blind, and they can feel a meridian, and they'll feel the blockage in the meridian. So a meridian is free-flowing negative ions of energy. And a blockage is it's like, think of a log jam in a river. That log jam is made of positively charged ions. It's important to realize that all toxins in our body are positively charged ions as well, these little log jams. So on the meridian, when the energy stops flowing, it's a positively charged point. So the best acupuncturists are blind, they can feel the positively charged point, and they'll push there, and we go like, ow, what's that? When they push, the positively charged ions release energy, the pain or the emotion. So when they stick a needle in that point, the needle will act like a little antenna and will conduct in ambient negative ions out of the atmosphere through the metal and into the point in the body where there's the logjam of positively charged ions, and really push them along, negative to positive, and get everything moving. And it's like that with our emotions, it's like that with illness. So when we internalize emotions and don't deal with it, and it creates geometry, it creates hardness in the body. This is why potentially, men don't live as long. We're not dealing with things the way women do. We don't get our emotions out. We just become stoic. And as we do this, we create all this hardness and firmness, stubbornness. The harder a substance is, the more energy it holds. So the harder you become, the more energy your body is holding. Uranium holds more energy than steel. It's harder, So hardening in the body, arthritis, bone growth, this sort of thing, cancers, cysts, a lot of these sorts of things as well, these hardenings also change the pH in the body. So when we're not careful with our emotions, and we're not careful with our diet, we're not careful with detoxing, we're not becoming informed on how to look after ourselves, we're turning our body into an acidic environment through bad food choices and bad digestive choices, through not detoxing and putting toxins into our body instead, like drugs and alcohol, and we're creating an acid environment, which is great for disease, and we're also bringing so much rubbish in through our thoughts and through internalizing all this energy, and we're also not cleansing ourselves, detoxing ourselves. It's a pretty dire situation when it comes to human health at the moment. We could be living in the first moment in time where the life expectancy for young people at the moment is lower than our parents. And we need to start looking at that. So the other reality is as well, stress, trauma. our immune systems are impaired because we're in stress and trauma. Our body is pumping blood away from our immune systems all the time. This is so common, particularly here in Australia. The amount of stress people are going through their own cultural programming around drama. People think that drama, your life is, some people think that their life can be measured by how dramatic it is, because by watching drama on television and growing up here and watching stupid soap operas that are dramatic because they're interesting, people measure the success of their life on drama. So gossip, complaining, all this sort of rubbish, they're creating a quantum reality where there's all these hiccups in life all the time, non-coherencies, and this drama creates stress. And once you're under stress, you're completely impaired, compromised. So we need to constantly be aware and take responsibility for the way we've been programmed, and just be letting these things go, letting these programs go.